You are now listening and maybe watching the Claim It podcast with me, your host, Trisha Huffman, also known as your joyologist. My hope in creating this podcast, in sharing, whether it's a solo episode with me or I'm having a conversation with someone who I find intriguing and inspiring, my hope is that you feel a little less alone out there on this wild and windy journey of being human. Which that reminds me, last week's conversation with Jason Mraz and his new album out. Am I going to say it right? Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride is the name of the album, which when he first told me that was what he was naming his new album, I was like, excuse me, what? But now I'm like, right. That makes sense. The journey of being alive, right? Mystical, magical, rhythmical, radical, twisty, turny, all aroundy, ups and downs. You think one thing's happening and another thing does. You may be in a time where like, man, things are challenging. And then bam, another hit. And you're like, what? You may think, what? I worked so hard and I got all the things and I've done all the things. I did everything right. And now why is this? Or you might have been chasing a goal, or you're currently chasing a goal and you even get it and you feel some satisfaction. And then you end up still being like, what's next? So often on this wild ride of being human, I find that us humans are seeking acceptance, seeking approval outside of ourselves. And it's not our fault. That's what happens in our brains unconsciously. And really, where we need to be looking for that acceptance and approval is internally. And it is not ever a one time I did it. Oh my gosh, I got it. I read the book. Whoa, mind blown, got it. I went through all this therapy. I've been meditating every day. I've been doing all the things. So I'm cured. I'm fixed. I'm good, right? Bam, bam, bam. I did all the things. I had the ahas. I am complete. I am whole. I am amazing. I approve myself. I accept myself. I am healed from my past. All of that, check. Yep. There's the ride. There's the ride. Life's going to throw you some life or just your mind. Our minds, and they're wired to be human. I saw this thing today. Let me just pull it up even on my phone. I screenshotted it. It was a share from a share from a share. I don't know. And I happened to see it. And it said, my doctor and I were discussing my anxiety. And she said, brains are made to keep us alive. They're not made to keep us happy. And I was like, there it is. Because I have been continuously sharing since I started this journey where I was coined the joyologist, which was back in 2009. And that's when I started sharing on social media, or I might have more started sharing on social media in 2010. No, 2009, because I do think I started blogging anyway, was this realization of it's not our fault. It's not your fault. It's our human brains. And as much self-work you do, as much of following all the right things and making the right choices and whatever, you're still going to end up with doubts and fears and shame and judgment and go in comparison. But we do this work and we get better at it. But for me, what the key to all of it and not being so extra hard on myself while we're in these internal doubt, fear, worry, shame, cream. Oh, I got a comparison. Oh, I'm judging that person. What's going on? The mindfulness of me doing it. And, and I share in my book and in so much of my work, F the shoulds, do the once, how I'm able to be mindful of, oh, that's what's going on here. So I can meet myself with compassion, love, and acceptance. Ding, 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 ding. I have started to been unwinding and unwinding and unwinding and unwinding more and more of like, what is behind this? Like, what is the core of the work that I do myself to be able to show up for my life every single day in different ways? And also the core of my work. Is it confidence? Is it this? And what I really have tuned into, it's this deep inner acceptance, self-acceptance. But it's so, I want to say layered, but I don't know. It is layered, but it's also these different categories of self-acceptance. Like accepting the fact that you are having the feelings, accepting that you're human, accepting who you are, accepting your past, accepting your circumstances, accepting your body, accepting your journey. But I think, and you might have gone there when I was saying all of those accepting things, that when we hear, or when some people, I don't know if it's you, I make up that when you hear accepting, that it can go to settling, or I'm accepting that this is what it is. I'm accepting that that's all we got. I'm accepting that, I guess, that. Like as if you're giving up on other possibilities or something. And to me, that's not what it is all. It is at all. It is very powerful. Acceptance is so powerful. And by coming to myself continually from this place of acceptance, whether it's I accept that I'm a human and I'm having this thought right now. I'm accepting that I'm here and this is the experience coming my way. I'm accepting that, I do not want to be in this challenge, but this is the challenge I'm being faced with. It allows me to meet everything and meet myself from more of a place of power and more of a place of compassion at the same time. It's as if like I've wrapped a blanket of love and support and compassion around myself as that's like rocketing me into space or rocketing me into wherever I want to go. That this deeply accepting all of myself. And it has been so freaking healing. So you may know, because I reference over and over again, like, when somebody's like, oh, Trisha, tell me about you and what you've done. It's in my book. I've probably shared it here on my podcast numerous times that there are these two key moments in my life that I feel really shaped who I am, how I move through my life, and why I do this work that I do, why I'm on this podcast, sharing this thing, why I go on other people's podcasts, why I wrote my book, why I had and still do have inspiring products, my Own Your Awesome daily app, why I do my one-on-one work, why I've created programs, all the things. These two key moments in my life have been the biggest things that shaped me. One was when I was 15. And again, you likely have heard this story, maybe not. So I'm not going to like go into super detail, but I was 15. Life felt hard. There was a lot going on, but really from the outside looking in, I had a great freaking life. I had a great life. I had friends. I was invited to the parties. I did the things. I was good at soccer and I played soccer. I didn't want to be competitive, so I chose like just to stay on my whatever fun like league that we still like went to state and stuff, but like I didn't play for my school because I didn't want to do that. I worked part-time jobs. Like really I had so much going on, but yet still I was in so much emotional like pain. I was so deeply craving to be accepted, to be approved of, and trying to figure out who was the version of me that would get that. Like what do I say? What do I wear? What do I look like? What do I do that keeps me like qualified as cool, I guess, really. Like I want to be a cool kid. I want to be somebody that, if you look at them, it doesn't seem like they care what anybody thinks about them. Like, right. Like that was the energy that I don't know if I put out into the world, but that's what I wanted to be. Yeah. She's so cool. Everybody likes Trisha, of course. But I was so like, who am I? Come on. Like, I just wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be approved of, and it all became too much. There were some other things going on, but really led me to have a breakdown, like moment. Like where I really had considered many times ending my life. And, talking about it, every time I go to talk about it, I'm like, is that the truth? And it is. And I can be transported back into that bathroom that I locked myself in all day and back to those times. So on that day, I chose to not just stay alive, but to live my life for me. And I didn't know what that meant or looked like, but I saw that I was giving so much power and mental energy away with trying to figure out what I should be doing, should be saying, all of the things. And so I was going to move through my life trying to care more about what I thought and what I wanted instead of trying to go through all the files of what do I say, what do I wear, like, yeah, if they ask me what song I like, what do I say? Is it cool to like Led Zeppelin or not? Like, whatever. There was so much I was trying to figure out in order to gain that acceptance and approval from other people. So I really took my life into my own hands and was like, I must accept myself. I must approve of myself. It doesn't, I don't know if other people are going to believe in me and what I want. And that doesn't matter because this is my life. It really had a deep impact on my life, that breakthrough choice. So that's where my self-acceptance journey started. And it didn't end there though. So many more lessons. So there's constantly, right, more to unravel and learn. And then the second key moment was when my dad died suddenly. I just wanted to shake people. Like I really wanted to walk up to people on the street and physically shake them to the fact that your life could end tomorrow. And I know we throw that around. Your life could end tomorrow. And it's like, yeah, right, sure, whatever. But that's still, my dad passed away in 2008. Is that 15 years ago? Wow, yeah, 15 years ago. And that still has a daily impact on me. The fact that life could end tomorrow. We don't know. So that was when I stopped everything, living my dream life that I had created for myself. And it was no longer like enough for me to be moving through my life this way, that I wanted to shake other people up to that. So that's what made me quit my dream career of being a live sound engineer. But then that journey and healing through the grief, and that's when I ended up giving up the word should, which has taught me so many lessons and unraveled and continues to unravel so much for me about this deep journey of self-acceptance, accepting who you are, accepting the past. Because I don't know about you, I'm going to guess that you have things that you look back on your life and you wince at, that you regret, that you think, I can't believe that's how I acted. There's so many things that I was mature for my age. I mean, I was touring with icons at a very young age and a very high professional level. And yes, I did some real stupid things. And now though, not just now, it's been many years, but looking back and being able to really hold compassion for myself and love myself and accept that that is what I did and that is who I was. And that doesn't have to be who I am forever. Right. So self acceptance is also looking back and accepting these moments of your life, accepting too that, yeah, we can have regrets. And that doesn't have to be like a bad thing. We can have fears, we can have doubts, we can have shame, and not making yourself wrong for having those very human things, but also not identifying that I am that. I am that past. The thing that you might still carry shame for, you're not really being weighed down for anymore because you're accepting that I am a human that is living, that is learning, that is experiencing, right? And the things that we can work on for so long and think we're great about, body image stuff, whatever it is, and finding that continual acceptance for yourself. So I find myself getting really really pissed off lately, annoyed. Like, again, like I just want to shake people lovingly, but with force. These two major key facts. One, you're fucking alive right now. You are here to be you. You are alive right now. You are here to be you. You were not here to be anybody else. I guess that is the two things. Because the second one I was going to say was the self-acceptance. But really, I guess that is what I was saying, right? That you are here to be you. You are yourself. So instead of beating yourself up for trying to make yourself into someone else, to own who you are, to accept all of yourself and all the versions of yourself, to accept the struggles that you're currently going through, to accept your circumstances and your past circumstances. And again, that doesn't mean that you are surrendering to them in a way that you're just like, oh, okay, I'll just let life do whatever it wants with me. But you're no longer fighting what is. And so this is also, there's like so much nuance in everything, right? And it's not the fact that you're alive right now, that could all end tomorrow. While that is the truth, that is a big possibility. But it's not like living every day like it's your last. And so then you're going to feel bad because, well, I just want to like watch the newest season of what's it called? The Bear? You know, the one with the chef. Why did I lose that right now? Whatever. Like, perhaps like all you want to do today is just stream a show. And then you're going to make yourself feel bad because, well, I might die tomorrow. I'm not like living my life full out. And I have these things on my to-do list and blah, blah, blah. And I should be, living a more joyful life. And I should be doing more. And I should be this, whatever. So really accepting yourself too, and that the fact that your life could end tomorrow. Are you happy with your choices each day? Are you doing the things that you want, that you need for your current energy, capacity, budget, all of that? So it's not living every day like it's your last. And so you better live the hell out of every second and cross everything off of every bucket list you've ever thought of writing. But it's really approaching every single day and whatever comes your way with this deep acceptance, compassion, and seeing that this is your life, your choices. So here's the thing. My two key moments both are connected to death, unfortunately. Getting close to mine, taking mine, and then my dad's sudden death. And I don't think I'm alone in that, right? I think a lot of people really wake up. Grief is it's a big one and it's complicated. And I don't think anybody is like grateful for a loss so that it gave them some new insights and reflections and way of living. But I know I'm not alone in the fact that when somebody has a close call or when somebody loses someone, that it does wake them up to, well, what the fuck actually matters here, right? And so I don't want you to wait for one of those moments. And I don't want you to be on your deathbed, right? The biggest regrets, to then be like, why was I so hard on myself? Why didn't I just enjoy my life? Why did I feel like I couldn't, enjoy myself or be this or whatever until I had this or look like this or got this success or whatever, save this much money, or I had this relationship, or was this size, or whatever the things, right? I don't want for you to wake up to the fact that you and no one else gets to live your life every single day in whatever way you choose to live it until you are on your deathbed or lose someone that you love. I don't want that for you. And you don't want that for you either. And that is why I have been working so freaking hard on what I'm calling the shakeup. The shakeup. I love it. I love that I'm calling it the shakeup. And that wasn't originally what it was going to be called. But like, yeah, that's the thing. I want to shake you up. Like I wanted to shake people on the street after my dad died, in the many weeks, months after he died. I just wanted to shake people up because it looked like they were just going through the motions of life. And I get it. A lot in life can be mundane. A lot of life can be challenging. A lot in life can be unfair. A lot of life can be unpleasant. And you're alive. And it's not that you need to be happy 24/7. It's just, again, this reawakening to you're alive. So where can you make it less hard for yourself? Where can you bring in some joy? Where can you add some fun? Where can you be nurturing to yourself? Whatever is going on. I don't want you to wait. So I'm running what I'm calling the shake-up, to shake you the fuck up. To shake you the fuck up to the fact that this is your life and it's happening right now, and to shaking you the F up to deeply accepting all of yourself. And it's going to be a 21-day journey. I was about to say ish journey because here's how it's going to go. You're going to have a private podcast feed. So it's just wherever you're listening to this podcast, you'll be able to listen to the private podcast, but you only have access if you join. And every single day for 21 days, you're going to get an audio drop from me that will be concise and powerful. They're not going to be as long as my solo podcasts. Every single one is going to have a deep intention. It's going to have you looking at something in your life and yourself, either reflecting on it during that time or giving you a takeaway to take with you. They're going to be anywhere from 7 to 22-ish minutes. Every single day for 21 days, starting July 10th, you're going to get a drop in your private podcast feed. And then there's also going to be 3 live calls. One of the calls actually happens after you've gotten all the drops, because on these live calls, we're going to be diving into what has been shared in those drops. It's going to be workshop styled. So there's going to be like some journal prompts. There's going to be like some discussions. We're going to be diving into that stuff and making you show up for it, apply it to your life, get support, get coaching, the things that you're stuck with. There's also going to be a private community to check base in. And every single day with a drop, I'm going to be touching in like, hey, blah, 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 who listened to the new one? Anything coming up for you? What's coming up for this? But there's no pressure to listen to each drop on that day. You're going to have time. You're going to have space. You can listen to them over and over and over again. Also, when the 21 days is done, you're going to get a PDF like ebook that has all the information from the 21 days. We'll have journal prompts and all of that in there. So it's going to last way longer than 21 days, but for 21 days, it's going to be like pop, 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 lovingly nudging you. And I'm doing it this way to make it freaking easy for you because I get it. And you might be someone who's like, well, I've read all the books. I've been in therapy for this many years. I listen to personal development podcasts nonstop. I follow all the inspiring people on social media. I've done all the courses and I still struggle with self-acceptance. I still struggle with feeling shame. I still struggle with doubts. I still, am so hard on myself. I get it. And I feel you. You have not failed. You haven't done anything wrong. Okay? It is a continuous act. It is a continuous choice, the self-acceptance. So I'm not going to be telling you this is what you must do. This is what you should do. Just follow these steps and you are going to be free from all of this forever. I am totally so honest with you about, again, the realities of our minds and the realities of being human, and going to be really deeply, lovingly, but with force and with power, be driving it into you how you can continually be meeting yourself with compassion, with deep respect, with deep kindness, with deep self-acceptance. You can't just say, this is how I want to be. This is how I want to feel. This is what I want to accomplish in my life, and move forward and go. You can. You can just say what you want and go after it. But you're still going to end up feeling a lot of that other stuff, right? And so we are going to be looking at what has been in your way, what continually pulls you back. What are the shames, the regrets? What are the pain points? So we're going to be lovingly and compassionately looking at that stuff that you might think you don't want to look at, but it's necessary. You need to again be able to accept all of yourself with this deep, radical compassion that you are going to build. I'm really so excited to be able to take you on this journey, to shake you up. And again, you don't have to wait. It isn't like, oh, once all of these hard times that I've been going through finish, then I can make time to work on myself, to heal myself, to be more loving towards myself. Or once I have this, once I have more time, once I blah, blah, blah. There's never going to be an end to the once I this, right? There's never going to be an end, which is why I've made this so easy to fit into your now life. Private podcast feed. You can listen to that, wake up in the morning, you're still in bed. You can go for a walk in the morning. You can have it on while you're doing your dishes. You can do it while you're driving. You can show up for yourself. If you can listen to a podcast, you can show up. The live calls, you can do it. If you don't show up for them, it's okay. There will be recordings. And also, we're just diving deeper into what's already going to be in those audio drops, right? I'm going to give you an ebook too at the end that has all the information condensed that you can look through, page through it, skim through it, whatever. The podcast files will continue to stay there. You don't have to listen to them in just 21 days. You're going to have the community support. And there is an option to upgrade to really dive in with me, where you can have an all-in day where we really dive in together for a day. It's a like 4 hours broken up in one day. And have me in your pocket, talking back and forth via voice memos for an entire month if you want to really go all in. Whether you join the shakeup or not, right now, again, just see, hear. This is your life. This is your one life. You are here to be you. You cannot wait for everything to be in line in this dream way that you want to happen. And I'm not saying those dreams are not going to happen, right? I'm not saying your hardships are not going to end. I'm not saying you're not going to get what you want. I'm not going to say that you're not going to meet the person of your dreams or whatever it is that you are waiting for. But please don't keep putting off your own healing, your own acceptance, your own owning your fucking life right now. Please don't wait until you think once it looks like this, then I can own who I am. No, that is the point of this deep self-acceptance. Accepting yourself right now, accepting all of yourself, accepting all of your past, accepting your current circumstances and challenges, and then being able to continually showing up as the person you want to be. Acceptance doesn't mean you're putting a cap, a final, this is it, we're done, we don't need to try or do anything more or change. It's being able to love yourself, being able to be in compassion as you are growing, evolving, showing up for the version of you that you know you are to be. Okay? There's so much in there. Again, it's not like you got to living every moment of the day. It's meeting yourself with the acceptance of this is what I've got today. This is the capacity I have this week with right now, with my energy, with my life, whatever it is. And loving yourself through that and not knowing this is all it will ever be. And this is all I'm ever capable or whatever that is. You know that you cannot hate yourself into loving yourself. You know that you cannot bully yourself into making like sustainable change. You can sure bully yourself into making some changes, but not in a way that actually is sustainable and that you feel great about and that you continue to stick with, right? So I hope you're going to join me on the journey and be shaken the F up with so much love, with so much heart, with so much compassion. I really hope that you'll join me. Go to yourjoyologist.com/shakeup. You can always DM at _Trisha Huffman with any questions. Email yourjoyologist@yourjoyologist.com. And if this is not feeling like a fit for you right now, I'm still going to nudge you to look at it a little bit more. But also definitely go get my book. If you haven't gotten it, F the shoulds to the once. If you do have it, comb back through it, get the audio version, the digital version, whatever works best for you. There's so many layers in this self-acceptance, right? And one of them is not making yourself wrong for what works for you. Perhaps you do have this book and you haven't read it and you're like, oh, I can't read it. Because perhaps it just doesn't resonate with you to read, but the messages do. But the shakeup, maybe you're more of a podcast person and the audio drops, So not being so hard on yourself for what works for you and what doesn't. It's just one area of this deep, full self-acceptance that we are going to be dialing in so that, again, you can own who the F you are. Because this is your one precious life and I don't know when it's going to end. So please join me for the shakeup and please shake yourself up right now and do something that has you claiming the fact that this is your life. It could be wearing something bold. It could be putting a song on you love and dancing like nobody's watching, right? That was another layer I had to move through of self-acceptance of like, oh, if I love and accept myself, then why do I get weird about dancing in public? There's so many different layers and we're going to go into that. Why don't we let ourselves dance in public? Why do we make ourselves wear this instead of that? Because that looks more flattering. Why do we turn music down or stop singing when we're next to people in the cars instead of just continuing, which I don't do anymore? You might think it's such a small thing, but there's so many daily small ways that we are abandoning ourselves, that we are telling ourselves that we're not enough. And I'm done with that, and I want you to be done with it. So thanks for tagging along on this journey with me, and I really hope to see you in the shakeup.